everyone. Welcome back to another great episode of I Am Powerful Movement. My name is Janice, and I have a special guest here with me. Her name is Tanya. But first, I would like to tell you more about what the I Am Powerful Movement is all about. Let me introduce you to a place of inspiration where empowerment meets transformation. It's the I Am Powerful Movement, spreading positivity, changing lives worldwide. This motivational speeches from story to triumph. Uh, this channel's beacons helping us to climb. We encourage us to embrace our inner strength, to believe in ourselves, go to any length. I am Powerful Movement. Hear the call on YouTube. They stand inspiring one and all, from words of wisdom to moments of reflection. They ignite our spirits, sparking self-affection. Through their videos, they uplift and empower, teaching us resilience hour after hour. With captivating stories, they break through the noise, fueling our passions, reminding us of our voice. They share insights, uncovering our potential, guiding us on a path that's truly essential from self love to personal growth. They're here to guide. So please give me a follow and likes, subscribe to my channel, share with your family and friends if you feel this will benefit you and others. Thank you for your love and support, everyone. Here at I Am Powerful Movement, because I really truly believe we are powerful in our own ways. Our voice are powerful. When we stand up for ourselves, it speaks volumes. And so we have this great platform to really inspire others. But not only that, it's just to share our story, our experiences, that we are all connected and we're all alike more than ever. I really feel like this whole consciousness is really uplifting a veil for humanity, that we are truly, really the source of this earth. Like, we're connected. Sometimes when we think of somebody, they instantly think about us and we get a phone call from them, for example. And yeah, so with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you my amazing guest and friend, whom I call a good friend of mine. Her name is Tanya. And let me give you a little quick bio about her. um, Tanya is an entrepreneur and creative artist. She has this artistic genes, or something she's born with. So she's a third generation of artists where she spent most of her times designing, developing, and handcrafting her line of fashionably functional aprons and wares, where you can also get her custom orders at her website that I put in the description. You can find all her information there. And she graduated from the IFDM in Los Angeles with a degree of fashion design with over 20 years of governmental experience under her belt, where she collaborated and worked for the Mictix Clothing, RVCA Clothing, Par Frank's Industry, BB Dakota, Wetsuit Incorporated, etc. And in July 2007, Tanya launched as the Chronicles of Tanya at the Los Angeles Gift Show. She also filled custom orders for private clientele, and you can purchase it in her website that I listed below. And yeah, so with no further ado, I am so happy that you're here, Tanya,
Thank
to
you.
really have a good chat. So welcome. How are you? What have you been up to?
Oh, what have I been up to? Well, staying healthy, well, positive, and getting lots of rest lately. I've been really sleepy. We're in a we're in a retrograde right now, and it's a heavy energy. So I'm just taking one day at a time and just keeping my vibration high, as high as I possibly can. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Lately, I don't, you call it energies, it is really impacting everyone, including myself. Sometimes I find myself very exhausted for no reason, where I just like, I want to do nothing, absolutely nothing today. Just all I do is want to sleep in. And I think we need that. We need our rest. So
Hmm.
don't you always have to be intuitive and always listen to our bodies, because it is speaking to us. If we need rest, if we need that day off, take it. Don't feel guilty about it, because we are energy, just like a battery, we all get drained out, right? Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. So you, Tanya, I know that you're really big on your health and wellness being, and fitness. Can you tell me more about what you currently are doing that's working out for you? Maybe you can help others to kind of take some advice on that. Yeah. And by the way, everyone, what we talk about is just based on our opinions, sharing from our experiences.
Hmm.
Uh, we are not professional. We're not asking you have to do it this way, but everyone really have their own uh, basically method of whatever's working for you. So if you find it resonate with you, great, and share with your family and friends too.
Well, do we want to get into that, or do we want to talk about how we met first, or
Oh
you
yes,
first? It's up to you.
yes.
I can kind of run through pretty much what I do every day. I've learned to, first of all, be thankful for waking up, getting out of bed. I ask for daily protection. I do my mantra, and I say good rising, bonjour to my cat and my husband and whoever is around. I go outside and I do earthing in the yard. I talk to the trees and the animals. We have squirrels, raccoons, lizards, butterflies, obviously birds. I love all of them. I call them all of my children because they are. I feed them. Then I have my bulletproof coffee. So I do espresso with some nutritional, powders and coconut oil. So I drink that as I am meditating outside. And excuse me, actually, I start with organic honey that I bought from a local farmer, and I follow that with warm lemon water. So that's actually the first thing that goes in my body as I go outside and I do my earthing, speak to all of nature, do some sun gazing, you know, always do sun gazing, but the sun has to be low. And then I start my day.
Wow, that's awesome.
So whatever I have
Expressing
written in my calendar is what I do.
great. And
Right.
it's just, I agree with you. Expressing gratitude first thing in the morning is,
Yeah.
it really energizes the soul. It's just to be reminded how grateful we are, just to have a breathing breath, like, yeah. Um, yeah. So I also wanted to kind of take a quick glimpse at how we met, and
Oh,
how we met
or
from,
two.
yeah, we met from a true tour, but we also met through a group of close friend of ours who went to the true
We went to
tour.
a trip tour last October 2022. I went 2 days. I was so energized for weeks after that. It was just awesome. It was awesome. And
And
so
what
there were mutual gals that were there that connected us, as well as some other gals that are in our soul tribe. And there's a guy in there too.
Yeah, so just so you know, just a little bit about the Truth Tour. It's through Louis Herms, who we are such a great fan, and to us, he's like family. We've been listening to his podcast for many years. And that's how we connected. It's just being like-minded, having the same interests of who we listen to is really powerful and empower us. So we
Mhm.
went to the Truth Tour where he have it all over the cities. This will be his coming fourth Truth Tour.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, let Tanya, what is your opinion about the Truth Tour, and how does that really uplift your spirits and everything?
Well, I mean, there's nothing else that I ever saw like that. I mean, for obvious reasons. I call the last 3 years that we were in time of reflection. I don't use those other words that, you know, the establishment puts out there. You know what I'm talking about. The C word and the pandemic, all of that stuff. No, time of reflection is what it was. So during that time of reflection, like millions of other people all over the world, we were at home on our computers or devices, looking at videos and such. And these various people started popping up in my feed for obvious reason. Universe sent them. And, you know, Lewis is one of them. I mean, the list is long. And I just started, a lot of these people, I'm going to say, help save me, save me from whatever, depression, you name it. Just, I was very focused on what they had to say and helped wake me up more, because I've pretty much been awake since childhood. Always question the narrative, question everything. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's true or you have to agree with it, but you don't have to argue about it. So anyway, the Truth Tour one, I did want to attend, but for some reason I didn't. So it wasn't meant to be. But what I heard about too, and the fact that it was in Anaheim, or what we like to call Anacrime, Anaslime, those are like street terms, being from Long Beach that I am, I was like, oh, this is going to be in Disneyland. I won't use that word, the word P word. Disneyland, because we just call all of Anaheim Disneyland. I grew up here. So I thought, you know what, Lewis is intentionally picking that town or that area for a reason, which I thought was awesome. So I went there both days, all day into the night, met a lot of my favorite truthers that I've been watching on YouTube and later on Rumble. And I just, everyone that spoke, I gave my attention to, whether or not I agreed with them, but you don't have to agree with everybody. I took something away from every speaker and I just, embraced it. And it just, like I said, it energized me. It just like made me a new person for the better. And met you and other wonderful gals. So.
And that's how we form our soul tribe. We call it soul tribe because I think what humanity right now is yearning for, like-minded and just connectionness to be together in a group of people who really embrace our differences without judgment, without any that's what free thinkers is all about. It's like, hey, you have your opinion, that's okay. I still love you. And unfortunately, we have been divided throughout especially this past 3 years among our friends and family, just because we think differently or just we have a different judgment. Unfortunately, some people will find the truth eventually. Truth will always prevail, as they say. And the Truth Tour, and from my opinion, what really resonate with me, just like Tania, all we do, we have that time period where we're at our home, right? So YouTube was always been my source to go to for just inspiration, knowledge, and listening to different mindset, that kind of thing. So when I found True Tour, I found that so many of these great personalities are free thinkers, just like me, who really, like, I didn't feel alone at all. By listening to them, and like, I agree, I don't have to believe whatever they think, but I just kind of pick and choose, like, this person, I like how he or she think, and I just little pick, and you kind of form your own way. And I think that society is lost of that, because we just so consumed by what the media tells us one way, without even thinking why and how. And anyway, but so if you guys have more, really want to really look into it, I encourage Tania, and I encourage you to check out tutor.net, or look up Louis Herms. He's also on rumble.com, which is a really great another website format that is for free thinkers who really speak the truth without any censorship out there, as you know. So yeah, check them out. And I think you're gonna love it. Just have an open mind. That's all we can do. Just have an open heart and really just learn from one another. And I think that's the very powerful of this movement right now. Is just empower ourselves. Do knowledge and do information.
Yeah, and empower one another. Lift each other up, and um, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Because in our new and growing group, it's just so refreshing. Like, we all have members in our families. I love all of my family members. I love everybody unconditionally. However, I just can't speak freely about most of them, around most of them. There's probably maybe one, actually two that are close to me that I can. Actually, no, one, two, three, two of my immediate family, and then of my in-laws. There are a couple. So, I always remind myself of them instead of saying, oh my gosh, so-and-so, I have to speak a certain way around. It's like, I can't do that. I am not fake. I'm not an actress. And I just can't pretend. And that's why a lot of people find me, what do they say? Not necessarily rude, but I'm very direct. And I don't dance around the truth. I like to shoot it straight. I like to hear it straight. Don't paint the truth. Just give me the facts. No matter what they are, horrific or not, or good, whatever, just that's all I need to hear. But
well, you know what, Tanya, I find that yeah, Tanya, I do find you being you yourself, being very straightforward and just not faking it. It's really a powerful energy that you have because you stand your ground and you're not gonna take any F for it. And I think people should really like stand up for themselves. Like, why need to be in a herd when you can just like be in your own zone in peace, right? And just enjoy your own company. Sometimes that's all it takes. It's like you don't want to be drained out by all these vampires out there, energy empires. I mean, vampires.
excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And just to go with what you said, Tanya. I mean, yeah. Everything, we're not going to go into detail, but everything with political, with our medical system, um, the finance system out there. uh, it's okay to question outside the box, but unfortunately we all have friends and family who really doesn't want to get out of the box. So if we even opinion ourselves, they find us very rude, or just, sometimes it's really draining to even try to convince them or even talk, like just talk our point of view. So it's uh, let alone it's just impossible. It doesn't go anywhere. So I just find it, I'm sure you agree with me, Tanya, that it's better just to keep everything mutual, talk,
Mm-hmm.
just talk mutual, doesn't even get into that topic, and move on with your life. It's like, I think it's better just for our own mindset, our own peace of mind, really, to walk away from anybody that doesn't really resonate with us. We're not here to convince you of anything, just, but if people don't even want to hear it, it's okay. Sometimes it's safe to save your energy than drain it at all.
Yeah, I mean, all they can just plug their ears. I'm kidding, but no, I keep it, around certain people. I mean, because I don't really talk a lot anyway. I'm more of a listener and thinker and doer. But lately, around certain people, I have been speaking up more in a very a certain tone, because I know I've had to, like, in my work career, I've been known to be like, oh, you're so bleh. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, we're here to do a job. I'm just here to do a job, not kiss butt, anyway. So
Yeah,
around
you talk about you're more of a behind the scene person and like marketing. Yeah, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Oh, well, wait, back to what I was saying before. So around certain people lately who have been oppressive and, shoot me down or what have you, for just bringing something up that's not even offensive. It's just bringing something up that might be provocative, but I do it in a mellow way. Now I do it more often, with more power. Just, I lift it up and I just throw it out there, and without any like backlash. I'm not going to name names, but it's like, wow, I actually like stood up for myself, after being criticized or, whatever, like kind of negative words toward me. I just it just like flew out of my mouth in a nice way. And that was very empowering. So I thought, oh gosh, well, I'll just continue doing that, because I'm not going to just shut my mouth.
Yeah.
And be oppressed by certain people that think that they can get away with that. Anyway, so work. You were asking me about work. My corporate mafia career. That's what I call it. Corporate mafia. You like that term?
Yes.
Corporate alone is bad, but I did choose a career in fashion design. I went to FIDM in LA a million years ago. It was either going to fine art school or fashion. So a close family member talked me into fashion because I couldn't do both at the same time, even though they're related. So I chose the fashion school. I was fortunate enough to be able to go, and worked in that field for 20 years. And excuse me, I've been a free agent for over 10 years now. I mean, the word entrepreneur, that's something that I really wanted to pursue, but there's more to it than, just doing it, because it's a lot of work working for yourself. It's a lot of work being a free agent, but there's no turning back. I mean, I haven't turned back because I did my time. I always joke and I say I did my time in jail. But there were a lot of perks. I got to travel all over the world, and don't get me wrong, I embrace all of it. But during there were times where I was not reprimanded. Well, I guess reprimanded for just being assertive, direct, forward, not mean, because mean is in the eye of the beholder. I don't believe in that word.
Yeah.
In other words, not, bowing down and kissing butt and, sugarcoating everything. Like, the fashion industry is insane alone, like especially fast fashion. Everything is needed last week, last month, like all of this for clothing. So anyway, yeah, so that, to answer your question, yeah, a lot of people found me to be, I don't know the word. I'm not going to say offensive, because I wasn't offensive. I didn't like F-bomb anybody, but it was just more of like my my way of getting work done. I would go to work, do my work, and go home. Not, I do have some friends that I met in the past that are from work, but you know what I'm trying to say? I wasn't there to try to climb the corporate ladder or, sleep my way up the line. I mean, no, none of that. I saw a lot of it, though. It happens everywhere.
Definitely. I think there's a price to be an entrepreneur, because you wear many hats.
Yes.
Even though you have your own free will to choose your own schedule, but you also have to manage your own time very wisely to get all these needs met. And yeah, it's a lot of applauding, but once you enter the entrepreneur industry, I mean, you can't go back, because you can't really be compliant to the 9 to 5, like do this and do that. Someone tell you what to do. Yeah. It is true. It's like, congrats that you got you escaped the matrix.
It's not for everybody. I mean, it's something that yes, it was scary as heck to decide to leave my job back in, the first time leave, and I think it was 2005. And I processed all of it. I thought, okay, if this happens, all my plans, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I had nothing to lose. I was still scared to do it, but I hate that word, scared and fear. I try not to be afraid of anything. So I did it, and this was, 2005. And so it was before that stock market crash in 08, when, some people were in charge of the country. I don't know what we can say on here, but people that I don't like were in charge of the country. They crashed I don't know if you remember that, but my
Yeah, that.
business was gaining momentum, and then the financial demise of our country happened, which forced me then to go back to work full time in the industry. But I was kind of upset about it, but I'm like, okay, this is happening, whatever. It's not the end of the world. There are always worse things that could happen. So I went back and I continued my small business on the side, and then other things happen, and I'm one to just keep moving forward. But sometimes I'm moving a little too fast. Like I have to stop. I have to stop myself and say, slow down and regroup, which I've learned to do because that's very important. So yeah, I still am doing my small business. I guess
Oh
I
yeah,
will be a contractor, really. It's contract work.
yeah. I definitely think that everything happened for a reason, right, Tanya? Like every crisis that we endured, such as the crash in 2008, whether it is the pandemic 2020, it really, really kind of poke us in back of a, like, hey, there's something you need to work on and something you look into. Or sometimes, that famous phrase, like when one door closes another one open. And sometime what you envision for yourself, your plan and your future might not go according to plan, right? And these are the crises really teach us about our own spiritual guidance, to kind of look inward, like, what do I want for myself? What is my purpose on this earth? How can I impact the people around me or the world, whatever it is? It comes with the ideas and the thoughts first. And I also want to say, I really applaud you for being here with me. I know that
Um,
more of a behind the scene person,
yeah.
and I think I'm so glad that I got you to really open up,
Yeah.
because it really takes a certain people to have that energy, um, to kind of be yourself, really just be your own and genuine self. And I'm so honored to to have you to really just be yourself around me, and we can talk all day. I remember when we were driving to the Truth Tour during our rides, we were just talking for 2 hours straight, and it
I
doesn't
know.
feel like anything. Yeah.
We were home all of a sudden. Yeah, well,
And then
thank you
I
for driving.
remember I asked you, you should be in my podcast, because we just resonate and we just click and we just, go
Yeah,
with the flow. And I love that. And it is true what you said. It's really rare for certain people to have that connection with certain people, whether it's friends, people you met, a stranger, doesn't matter. It's the connection that is really, truly, that people are seeking, just really be honor and be themselves without any judgment, without any all that BS.
and judgment. I mean, only God judges, right? Or creator. I don't, I, so I'm one to not judge people. Now, we all have our opinions. I'm like a perfection, not like, I am a perfectionist. Can't help it. Um, Organize, if certain things are like out of order, I don't freak out, but I just, okay, like calm down. I always, in the back of my mind, things can always be worse. That's what I was taught. Things can always be worse because they can. I've traveled to communist countries, third world, seen all kinds of stuff, but at the same time, I didn't feel sorry because that's their life. It didn't mean just because I look at people in other countries and I might think that, oh, they're less fortunate than me. That doesn't necessarily mean that's how they think. I mean, I don't speak for other people. I just let them, you don't know what people are thinking. So I
And
don't
yeah,
know.
I totally agree. When you travel the world, you just really appreciate their culture and their upbringing without any judgment. You don't go to another country and go, hey, you should be an American, you should talk like this. Like, come on, that's just bizarre, like,
By the
I
way,
can.
let me interrupt you because when I
Mhm.
did go, this reminds me, when I did go on a fashion study tour when I was going to fashion school, um, it was interesting to say the least with the group of students that we were with. Nothing against any of them, but we did get kicked out of a couple of our hotels for these kids just acting up. and it's not their fault. They're ignorant. I guess a lot of them hadn't traveled to a foreign country before, but I did witness some of them acting like just acting dumb. You know what I mean? Like dumb as in, hello, we're in a foreign country. This is not America. And then I thought, is this how that term, the ugly American, was coined? And I don't even like that. That's not a nice thing to say, but it was interesting. So yeah, traveling is the best education for anybody, in my opinion. Whether it's domestic travel, on the same continent, or whatever, anywhere, just to see other people all over the world. They just want to live their lives.
It is true. Like even in Texas, they have a different way of thinking, or the Florida people, the New Yorkers, go with different states first before you go to countries. Yep. I agree.
Awesome. But again, not everybody wants to travel. So my parents and grandparents and their parents, they were all, they traveled. I just say I come from a jet setting family. The first time I was on an airplane, I was 1.5 or 1. And so I have the traveling gene, the traveling bug. I haven't traveled anywhere lately though, but I did go to Tahiti 2 years ago, where I have family.
It is true. Travel is good for the soul. It's really good for the soul, right? It reminds us how much great things we have in America, such as freedom of speech, freedom of owning, the rights to that, and not people really, really look up to us. If you think about it, people all over the country fled whatever is communism or what, but they fled their own country to come to America because of these rights that really protect us through the constitutional amendments that our founders have wrote many decades ago, right? And we need to really embrace that. And unfortunately, I think as a parent myself, like I try to teach that with my kids. Like, you have these rights. You are, always stand up for yourself. The more we learn about these things, and when we know better, we become better, and we teach better for our community and our loved ones, right? Yeah. And speaking of energies, like energy is really I honestly feel I'm learning about the chakras right now, the 7 important chakras.
Yeah.
And by the way, you see my ring?
Oh yeah, the 7 chakras. Yeah.
Yes.
My eye.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm learning about it, and the root chakra, the crown chakra, and everything, fear based, love based, and heart based.
Throat. By the way, all of our throat chakras, well, not all, but a lot of people's throat chakras, including mine, have been under attack lately. Which is, so I was like coughing earlier. It's like, I'm not sick, or it could be the air quality. Who knows? But a lot of people, because they want to silence, or the devil wants to silence us.
Yeah, can you speak to us about that? I know with your knowledge about chakras, crystal that you're into, the energies. What practice have you used that really enhance your health, well-being, and everything? Can you share that with us?
Yeah. So let's see. It was like what year was it? 2015, when I knew that I needed a change in my life, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of it. I was just done. You get to that point where you're just like, God, please send me a sign before I lose my shite. So I picked up this business card at a juice bar in Long Beach, and I recognized the name on it. It was a gal that I knew from a hair salon, but she had created this thing called 40-day green cleanse. And I just saw that was the sign from the universe. I'm like, I need something. I don't know what, I just need it. So I had learned about cleansing. At that time, I thought I knew about food. I didn't know anything about. I didn't know what inflammation was. I didn't know. I thought, oh, I'm so healthy. Yeah, right. I mean, I was highly stressed out from my corporate jobs that I had gotten laid off from, several years prior, and so I just felt unhealthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So anyway, when I started doing this 40-day cleanse, which changed my life, by the way, I loved it so much that I did it 3 times that year. I incorporated, she taught us So it wasn't just punish your body. It's not no one should punish their body whatsoever. It was a spiritual journey and a health journey, obviously. Food, learn about food, other things like crystals, saging, just all of that, chakras, you name it. She designed it as such. And I had been into crystals and all that prior to that. I think I was some kind of geologist in a past life because I just love rocks. I bring rocks from other states when we travel, and I write on them and I put them in the house. So rocks, my cat enjoys the rocks, shells, all of that. So anyway, so crystals have always been part of my life, and I'm learning more and more about them. There's so many of them though, so it really depends on what you want to, use them for. Because there's also massage therapy where they use crystals as well. So sage burning, Palo Santo burning, the crystals. Oh my God, there's so many. Selenite is good. Selenite helps charge your other crystals. It's like a selenite wand. Quartz crystal, black tourmaline, which is shoral. I have so many of them. I can't even list them all. But I have them all over the house, and they're very energizing. I carry them on me, on my person, in my car, and I recharge them because you can't just have them and not pay attention to them. You have to clean them, so you can run certain ones underwater, or you can put them in the earth overnight. Or sage them. There are different ways of cleansing them. So yeah, I joke. I say I want my house to be made out of one big rock.
I'm sure there is a rock house out there.
Oh, they're out there. Yeah. That's a dream that I don't know. Maybe it'll come true one day. Like rock, crystal, metals too. Copper. I'm totally into like alchemy. Copper, gold and silver, obviously. Anything like that. Anything that's natural. I try to live. Oh, so back to the cleansing. That also taught me about a lot of foods, and I try to live as clean a lifestyle as I possibly can because my body doesn't like, harmful chemicals. There are good chemicals and then there are harmful ones. So.
Yeah, we are what we eat and what we think, right? There's certain foods that immediately you feel your energy just get drained away and you don't know why.
Yeah.
So when we turn to such as healthy food, I know you're a fan of farmers market. You can feel a difference because these are organic, and you can't even trust what's out there in the grocery store. Even though they put a label organic, is it really organic? So you got to pay attention to your energy and what you said about the crystal. From what I heard and read, so many people, so many articles explain that energies are stored on these crystals and rocks.
Oh, yeah.
They really kind of like energy sucker, really. That's why it's easy. It's so I think it's something like about you speak to your when you want to manifest something, speak to your crystal. Speaking in terms of positivity, as if you already have it. I'm healing. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for all the wonderful people and greatness in my life. You got to speak in terms of as if you already have it. It is done, that kind of thing. What is your thoughts about manifestation? Because I know you and I were talking about almost an hour, I think, just going over how powerful our words are. As we all learn, words have power, and the system have designed to manipulate those words into lies. And as you as we learn now, the more you repeat a lie becomes truth, right? And that is not right. So whatever you repeat, it becomes stores in your subconscious mind, and then that's how you really manifest all the negativity out there without knowing it. But once you understand it, how powerful your mind are, you can reverse it by speaking the right words into your world out there, and really will manifest what you do. And just a quick note, like once I learned this, I my whole life changes, even for myself. I start looking in the mirror, um by saying, affirming all the good things. I'm really big on affirmation with words. I am love, I am beautiful, I am strong, I am happy, I am powerful, I'm confident. Whatever you put, because I understand that whatever you put under after I am, you becoming, because your mind doesn't understand what's right or wrong. It just is, it's really just it resonate with whatever you command it to be. So if you keep saying negatively, it's gonna attract, just like the frequency of an antenna radio. It's gonna pick up on everything that you say about yourself and make it come true.
Yeah.
And that's when you were like, hey, how come things are not working out for me? Because you kept saying things are not working out for me, or I'm stupid, I'm such an idiot, oh my god, I am also forgetful. So you're already manifesting it for yourself without even realizing. But once you understand that concept, you twist it around and say, hey, it's okay for me to make mistake. I'm proud of myself, of my progress, and on and on and on. Anyway, I want to hear your thoughts about manifestation and all the good stuff.
Well, the thing about crystals is that I forgot to mention, because my mind goes faster than I can spit the words out, which is something I need to practice. I can't help it. You can actually program each crystal. I learned that over the years. So you cleanse it, and then you program it. So whatever, and you should program it according to what the crystal healing properties are. Not a random. You know what I mean? Like, do your research and then kind of connect the two. So manifestation, yes. So let's see. Everything you said is true. I have learned now that I'm less distracted working in the rat race. All those years, always knowing that what am I doing? Like, why am I? This isn't even important. Yes, it's important to pay your bills, pay your rent, blah blah blah, all that stuff. But I always knew that there was more to life in general. And so I knew what the word, I always liked the word manifesto. I never quite knew what it was. I had heard it. At one point I used it on my website, like instead of a bio, it was manifesto, because I just liked the word. But now that I know what it really means, yes, the daily affirmations that I do after I ask for protection, that the asking for protection, something I never knew in all my previous years, is so important. Does that make sense? Like actually asking the universe, putting it in the ether, visualizing a protective bubble around you and white lights of protection, all of that, and keeping all of negative out and keeping love and light inside. That has definitely been effective for me. And it's so easy to do. I just do it for like 2 minutes every rising. Notice how I don't say morning, every rising, every day that I rise or I wake up. And then I've been manifesting my entire life. Just visualizing what I want to do next week, next month, next year, 5 years, what have you. But then again, there's that word time. What is time?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's a word, because I think it's all happening at the same time. Yes, past, present, future, all at once, all happening at once, because it is. That's what I know. Yeah. So manifesting is very important. Manifest what you want and make it good. Don't manifest something that you don't want, because then you won't. It's not a good thing. Manifest positive things, powerful things, and look within. A lot of people always look outside for answers, and we have all the answers. We're born with all the answers and all the knowledge.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Look from within, and that is something that we need to go back to. Is really trusting ourselves.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Speaking of, you know, we're really claiming your power here. Is that when you become aware of your thoughts, and as the one of the famous Buddha quote says, thoughts become things.
Mhm.
That really like hits me hard, because I was like, wow, I ever since I heard that quote, it reminds me of every awareness of my thoughts. I'm like, that's not me, or someone's thinking, or someone's thought, opinion that is kind of negative, right? I would immediately would change, tell myself, cancel it. I don't believe that. That's
It's a good
their
cancel
reflection. That's their reflection.
or
Hmm.
delete.
Delete, because we're all delete and copy and paste here in this society, right? So you don't have to copy and paste. If you don't like something, delete. It's we our brain is like truly is a computer system, and it's so simple that people really forget how simple it is. Like command, do this. Okay, I will do it. And we really honestly have all the rights to choose, and the less we are dependent on big pharma, on pills and medicine
Oh,
that really clog up our brain. That's what the intention is. Obviously, we the more we're less of that, the more we are in tune of our intuition with our higher self. I also believe, every time you have a intuition or a thought or someone's think, an idea,
mhm.
before I just thought, oh, where are these thoughts coming from? Like, but as I found out, like, listening to many podcaster or people that are into this subject, truly is it's about almost a spiritual energetic out there. Sometimes they're always guiding us. And what you said earlier is what, instead of questioning why this is happening to me, start questioning how, why, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this experience? Please help me guide to where I want to be. Ask for, whatever it is you're believing in. It doesn't matter if you believe in God, your higher self, angels. I don't care what you believe in, whatever religion you are. There is something speaking to us, um, spiritually. Uh, as I also want to say that I lost my mom 2 years ago, and it was definitely a very very painful experience, part of my life. But now knowing what I know about the energy never dies, it really it just goes on. And the more I'm in tune with that energy, I can tell you, Tanya, that oh my God, my mom is literally speaking to me from the other side of the world. Whether 5D, 3D, whatever you call it, she is here. So, for example, every time I go in my bathroom and take a shower, I would look down. My window would look down into this beautiful uh, bush of flowers, for instance, right? And every time I think about my mom, a butterfly would appear,
Mm, that's
and
awesome.
it happens like literally 99% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, mom, I'm thinking about you. Show me your sign that you're here. And then all of a sudden, a yellow butterfly. I've been seeing a lot of monarch butterflies
Yes.
around the bushes everywhere I go when I pick up my girls from school, or anything. Like she speak to me in energetically to insects. As we know, our loved one, when they pass away, they literally give you signal to butterflies, to electronics, to perfume scent, through
Oh, yeah.
so maybe a scent that they used to cook. My mom used to cook good, really great food, and I would randomly smell this fragrance of like cooking, and it remind me of her. And to me, anyway, overall, I'm just saying that it's so it's so powerful that whatever the 3D world, our human world, once we are in tune with ourselves and our chakras and open up to that new spiritual side, we really truly can connect with our loved ones. And I honestly can say that from my experience, and I love it. I love that the fact that she's here, always in my heart.
Yeah.
And I just want to share that with you and the audience.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, my mother's mother, grandma, I was fortunate enough to know all four of my grandparents, and there was a step grandpa in there as well. But my grandmother, who was highly creative and just a little spitfire, she was Well, I feel that like if you always think of somebody, like if they're in your heart, they're always with you. They're around you. They're an angel protecting you, or what have you. But I did have an experience with one of my family members that passed many years ago, and I was traveling to Vegas, and there was this dog, like a larger dog, maybe like a Labrador, like a fluffy Labrador or whatever. And for some reason, I was walking amidst all the people, and busy on the strip in Vegas, going up an escalator, and then somebody with their dog was going down the escalator, but the person went, but the dog stopped, and I turned and we locked eyes, and I feel like, oh my God, that's my relative that passed telling me everything's going to be okay. And I was like, oh. So that's one of my experiences. It was really cool. So yeah, so he spoke through the dog.
Oh yeah, they can be animals, or sometimes, our loved one can send. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I definitely agree. Like, our loved one can truly send even people to, or sometimes certain people we met at a supermarket or whatever, wherever we at, just to like remind us that, hey, I want to speak. I want to send you my message.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. We really embrace people as once you, like I said, like I really love people. I love people's energy. I love people's story. I think everyone is so powerful because we have a story. We have a belief that really just connect us all. We are truly not divided at all. We're so alike in so many ways. It doesn't matter what culture, as you mentioned, when we go out in the world, as you find that family values, moral values, just basic love, that unconditional love for yourself and your family is all there in every culture, every part of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're all connected. We are truly connected through the ether. I guess that would be, it's a trip sometimes when you think about it.
It is true. And I really feel right now we are in this consciousness, collective consciousness awakening where people really want the best for themselves.
Yes.
Now they want the best for others and without any judgment. I think more and more ever, because of how I changed my mindset, I notice I'm attracting to the right people, such as yourself, Tanya, such as our group, that we are connected in a way where, we always say about, I think I met you in my past life. And I don't.
Totally. Yeah. I believe that. I shouldn't say, I like the word know instead of believe, because in the word believe, there's lie. So yeah. I know in my heart that certain people in my life, obviously even if I haven't met them in person, I feel like, well, yeah, we've known each other in a past life. Like it's just so like, as a matter of fact to me, I'm like, oh, cool. I just, I don't like make a big deal about it. Like, cause I don't want to make the other person feel weird because you don't know how they're feeling, but I just know it. And then I move on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like there's certain energies, people that you meet that you don't understand why I'm so drawn to this person. I don't care if it's a romantic relationship or even a friendship. You just wonder why, what I'm really comfortable around this person, or I'm truly. Like there's certain people really energize you when you're around them. Doesn't matter what you're doing, having a cup of coffee together or just chatting like this. It really like makes you feel like, oh, I feel so good about myself. I think there's a reason why. I mean, it's just to remind us that, if we really sacred our own energy, we will drawn to people that really are good, would have good intention for us.
Yes. And I'll comment about that. I was just thinking that for many years of my life, because I'm a giver, not a taker. So try to find the happy medium, because it's okay to take, not steal, but take. So there were many years where I was way too open and too nice to anybody and everybody that I came across, because that's the type of person I am. Well, I learned the hard way many, many times, and then continued to not learn from, don't just trust anybody on the, even now I'm streetwise though. I'm not stupid. Like I was born and raised in like Long Beach and West Grove. So I'm very aware. I'm always aware of my surroundings. And I also do feel like I've had lots of protection in my life because I've done stupid things, like stupid, teenager or young 20, whatever, because I'm human. So, but I have definitely learned to not give my energy to anybody and everybody that I come across just because I'm a nice person. Because there are those that mistake niceness for weakness, and I'm definitely not weak. I mean, I may appear to be weak at times, but no. So yeah, that's very important to not share your precious energy with just anybody, unless you want to. I mean, people can do whatever they want, but I don't anymore. Those days are over. I use my mind, like if instead of like maybe engaging or even making eye contact with certain, because I'll know if I'm just walking, because when I had my dog, I would walk all over Long Beach before because she was a Westie and she needed lots of exercise. So I'd walk that little dog like 5-6 miles around downtown Long Beach or Long Beach and other parts, good parts, but still aware. So I won't even, you know how dogs know or just animals know, if that soul is a demon or whatever, good or bad. So yeah, my dog, it was kind of embarrassing because sometimes she would growl at people and I wouldn't make eye contact with that person. I would pick her up and then just, move on and not make a scene because I could just, without even looking at the person, I could tell that they were either possessed or demonic or whatever, dark. So, and she knew way ahead, like she'd bark at, she'd want to probably attack the person, but I'd pick her up and we'd move along. So yeah, these days, I won't even make eye contact with everybody because I know for me, that's not good because they could cast spells. I mean, I've been victim of, or not a victim, but I've had things like that happen to me in the past, not realizing, and other people who love me say, oh, that's a psychic vampire. And I'm like, what's a psychic vampire? I didn't even know what that meant. Well, other people that care and love me said, well, this is what that is. So you don't be nice to just anyone and everyone. You can be civil, and cordial, but don't just give your whole energy and, oh yeah, no, no more of that. So I've learned.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. When you're energetically low, you are pretty much inviting a lot of the low demonic energies out there. I don't care what you believe in, but as I'm learning more about energies, the negative energy, let's just say, they like people who are not aware of themselves, who are in such low vibration
Yes.
that it's easily access to that because it's like energy to them, to the negativity world, I guess you can say, is food source. They gravitate on people that doesn't think for themselves or doesn't really try to do anything, just like whatever you know what I mean. But
yeah.
I totally agree with that. That's why dogs and pets and animals really picked up on it. Like, they know when the earthquakes are coming or when the storms are coming, the birds, all the really sacred animals out there, they're in tune with the frequency out there. They can recognize before even words, even before words can project, because you have to really, that's why, meditation and knowing your chakras, knowing what works for you, what doesn't work for you is so important. To really, really, I guess what you call protect that. Because I recently found out that I just read a meme or a quote somewhere that even when people touches you, it's like an energy transfer. Did you know that?
Oh,
so
having your energy, yeah. Yes, touch is very powerful.
I'm not saying like don't be scared, like, oh, don't touch me. No, not that.
Well,
but like
it depends on the setting. I'll be like, don't touch me, or I'll be like, I like going.
And that's why, children, babies,
Mm-hmm.
They have the purest and highest energy out
Mm-hmm.
there of love, the purest love that you can think of. That's why when people around children, I can speak that for myself as a parent. I embracing my own children just through a simple hugs energized me. It if
Yeah.
uplifted me. No matter how my days are, like I just feel this intense love I can't describe. It's just, oh my goodness, I love you so much. I don't know what it is. I love your hug. And I always try to teach them, hug, hug really really can solve anything. It's what is that, octoso and what's that word called? um
What?
can't think of it. um a, a dopamine or whatever it is, right? Hmm.
Oh, dopamine. Dopamine.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like the we a dopamine of love, the certain things
Oh, are
that
you
we
talking
need.
about when you work out? Oh my God, I can't think of that word. Ah,
It's kind of like what,
oh my gosh, I'm
Tanya,
brain fart.
that's why
Like
you're
working
into
out.
fitness.
Yeah, yeah, working out and the endorphins.
Yes, you're
Endorphins.
releasing that. Yeah. Hmm.
Yes. Oh yeah, everyone needs that release.
And then, speaking of the fitness, like, when you, it doesn't matter, it doesn't, I'm not talking about intense fitness. It could be a walk in the park, whatever it is. You
Mhm.
feel energized, right? Can you
Yeah,
talk a little bit about that?
yeah. So I prefer to walk and hike in nature as opposed to around a neighborhood or buildings because that's another thing to the. I mean, if I have the option to. So now we don't live in downtown Long Beach. So there is just like, oh, I'd have to just put on my shield or armor of protection while I'm walking my dog around because it's Long Beach. It's very dead. There's like 500,000 people there. But when we live we live in Seal Beach now, not on the beach, but uh, inland. We're near the naval base. There's lots of military activity around here. I love it. Anyway, what was I saying? Shoot. Oh, hiking. I choose to hike out in nature because it's nature. That's my medicine, as opposed to walking around a neighborhood where there are a lot of houses with people in it because you don't know what energy is in those homes, coming out of that's how sensitive I am these days. Like really in tune and like, if I get a weird feeling from just a house, well, there's a reason. I don't know what's going on in that house or who lives there. So I just drive to I drive to Bolsa Chica wetlands and I go hike there lately because it's easy, it's not too far, and I just love it. Rancho Palos Verdes is another great place to hike.
Yes, and being around the ocean, there's something about
Oh
that. It's
yes,
very healing.
have to. Yeah, water.
The rocks, sometimes just sitting on the rocks and just really just being in tune with nature. Oh my God,
Yeah,
you feel refreshed after.
yeah,
You're like, mm.
yeah. I need that, or I'm not happy. I have to be creative because I am a creative, an artist, and I need nature, whatever that may be. So I have a backyard right now. So I go, in the morning, I go out there. We have some trees, and it works, you know.
You are definitely an empath, Tanya. Empath, you feel everything. You feel people's energy, even without them telling you about it. You pick up on their positive or negative
Mm-hmm.
energy as they're around you, and it's so true. Some
Yeah,
people, they light up the room when they walk in a certain place. People look at you because of your energetic being.
yeah.
When you vibrate high, I
Mm-hmm.
noticed when sometimes I'm walking around, people look at me. I'm not, saying it as a way to like, nothing like conceited or like that. But now that I know about energy, I kind of look at it as like, okay, good. I have good energy. And
No
speaking of
competition.
that, I have gone to get one thing that I like is, I don't mind go out eat by myself. I really
Oh, me too.
into
Yeah,
I love my own company.
because you love
Sometimes I need
yourself.
that.
That's
Hmm.
important. Yeah, there was a time. Sorry to interrupt. There was a time where I couldn't. Well, I could, but I didn't do that because I don't know what my problem was. I was like, what's wrong with me? Like I had some kind of agoraphobia. Actually, I've had agoraphobia most of my life. I never knew what it was. I'm like, why am I, I didn't even want to go outside of my house when I was little because I'm looking around. I mean, now I've learned in my adulthood there are reasons for that because it just really bothered me. But fast forward to 40 plus years later, I'm like, one day I just felt so confident that I just went out to eat by myself. I mean, I lived with my man at the time, but he wasn't home. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to go here and there, wherever. I was like, what happened to me? I mean, it was a good thing. It just kind of happened one day. It was sometime after 2012. Maybe it was 2012. I don't know. But so, yeah, I enjoy my own company.
And that is a mastery, self-mastery in itself. That's when
Okay.
you overcome, all the, I don't have to live for other people. I live for me.
I get okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's just
no,
like a shift.
definitely. When I was younger, same thing like you. When I went by myself, I feel like people are judging me, like, oh God, she's just a loner. Oh, poor her. That was in my own head.
Mm-hmm.
But the real reality is no one give a shit. I'm sorry, no one give, whatever about what people think. Now
Yeah.
I can really embrace really my own true self, just being, because I want to really savor that food or whatever I'm craving for, and
Mm-hmm.
really experience it without any judgment, because I realize I'm just imprisoning my own thoughts of
Yeah.
what I used to think, but now all that thinking goes away. I'm just like, you know what? I'm eating in peace. And one other thing, I noticed that when I'm really, one of the assuring things, I guess, knowing that I'm vibrating high at the level I want to be, when I
Mm-hmm.
go to a restaurant, for instance, I will be the only one there. Maybe it was at peak hour, not peak hour, but like, not. For example, I go in there. I'm by myself. I'm ordering food, and probably me or another person or something, very like less people.
Mm-hmm.
Literally 5 minutes after me entering the place, I swear to you, there will be like a crowd of people, like one people, five people start showing up. And I've been noticing, like, even I don't care where it's Starbucks or certain little mama pop places I go to. I would actually pick. I went with a friend recently, and I was like, look, no one was here when we were here. Look what happened. There's like five people behind us.
Right.
I don't understand. So it's the energetic being. I also, it's a funny thought I want to put out there. I also want to give, um, I wanted to tell the restaurant owner, hey, you should, I'm endorsing your restaurant. You should kind of, pay, pay me a fee for bringing all this customer to you. That was just
They're fine.
a funny thing I thought in my head.
They can just laugh at you and go, or they could say, hey, that's a good incentive. I mean, who knows? So we're at an hour and 8 minutes now. 1:08.
Yes,
Actually,
yes, yes.
in my eye.
Yes,
So,
yes, we're coming to a close, and I think we really cover everything, regarding about energies, about the world, about our thoughts, ideas, creativity. Don't be scared to be yourself. When you're around others, really embrace your power. Um, any So one of the questions I like to ask all my guests at the end of the show is that, if you have the ability, I mean, if you have three advice to tell your younger self, what would it be?
my younger self. Um, do not be afraid. Everything will be okay. And I love you.
Awesome, awesome.
I love you,
Yeah,
Tanya.
yes. When you say I love you to yourself,
Mm,
it's like you're parenting yourself again, in
mhm.
the reflection of how you want to be as a parent to yourself. Good thing about that you touch on that.
Yeah.
Once I learned about the whole inner childhood trauma, I
Mhm.
start talking to myself as a parent to my own child. Like I would envision no, like just basically looking yourself in the mirror and say, I love you, Janice. I'm
Mhm.
proud of you. You
Good.
are safe with me, and you will never be harmed again. I will protect you. You know, just
Mhm.
a simple phrase, hearing your own thoughts, telling yourself that you are your own savior, your own hero. It
Mhm.
really empowered me in so many ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is truly great advice. So, again, thank you for tuning in, everyone, to the I Am Powerful movement. You can find Tanya at all her links, social media links below in the description. And I thank you for your time, Tanya.
Oh,
I
thank
can't wait
you.
to, yeah, let's do this again.
For
We'll
sure.
follow up with each other. And I applaud you, and I'm proud of you for checking off that box, for being able to speak in front of others and not behind the scene. I got you out. So,
Yeah.
yay.
Thank you. Thank you, Janice. Love and light to you.
Love and light to you, too. And I wish you all the best, everyone. Peace and love out there. Thank you. See you next time.
Thank you.
Mwah.